Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am playing with the Glimmer Hot Foil kit of the month for September 2020. I am in love with this set. It's called Have a Colorful Day. There are 2 dies in this set, as well as some Glimmer Hot Foil plates to create rainbows in a variety of ways. So I'm going to show them to you today, and I wanted to show you the difference between the die. You see here it has the holes in it, and so does the cloud die. So you can tell these are not Glimmer Hot Foil plates because those are made to poke out your die cut pieces. So I die cut this so you can see what it looks like from white cardstock, and we'll be using it on card number 1. I couldn't stop playing with this set, so I have 5 cards to share with you today. This kit also comes with the Rainbow Hot Foil. Yay! So I'm going to use that on this card right here. I'm cutting down a piece that's going to fit on this first and largest of the rainbow pieces. I want the top of this rainbow to have the red on it, so I'm strategically cutting that where I want it to be. And now I'm going to create a hinge by taping my die and my plate together. So my die cut and my plate are taped together, and that's creating a hinge. You want to have a space when you open it between them. You don't want them to touch right at the top. That way you can nestle that foil right in there. I'm going to trim this so it's pretty close to the plate, and then I can go ahead and tape that again so it's not going to move, and I just made sure it was in place. Now you want to put this face down onto your Glimmer Hot Foil system, put the plates on, press the timer. When the timer goes off, you're going to run that through your die cut machine very slowly. Slow is the key. You don't want it to bounce around because it could jump and foil in 2 spots. So then we can remove that, and then I'm going to use my tool here to remove the tape and take off my die cut from all of that. You want to be careful because these are a little hot, and there you can see it all glimmer foiled. So now I'm going to do the second piece, and you want to make sure you put the foil so the pretty side of the foil is facing the Glimmer Hot Foil plate. And then again, we're going to tape that into place and make sure that it is on there how we want it, not crooked. It's just a double check right there. And place it face down on the plate, press the timer, run it through the die machine, and then you're going to remove the foil. So I'm not going to show running it through the die machine every time because it just takes more time, and I have 5 cards. So let's show the fun part. I am putting 2 plates on here at once. You can do that so long as they're kind of close together so that you don't get that bumping effect that I was just talking about when you run it through the die machine. So I wanted to show you that. And again, just remember to go slowly through your machine. If you're not getting the results that you want, you might want to try a shim in between your plates that on the Glimmer Hot Foil system. I don't seem to need that with my particular die cut machine, but all die cut machines are a little bit different. So you could put a piece of copy paper or even a piece of cardstock there. I'm also going to Glimmer Hot Foil with that rainbow foil my sentiment that says have a colorful day. It is gorgeous foil. I love it, this rainbow foil. All right, so let's remove that. And there was a tiny bit of excess foil inside the center of the A, so I just use a stiff bristle brush to brush that away. I'm going to use a border or a, sentiment die to die cut this out. When you're die cutting something that's already foiled, make sure your tape does not go over that hot foiling or it could remove some of the foil. And there's my sentiment. All right, I have a cloud embossing folder here that I'm going to use to emboss a background for my card. I thought clouds are perfect background for this. So I will use this particular embossing folder throughout today's video. I think it's just a fun nod to what's going on with the Glimmer Hot Foil. And I am splattering this with sparkle silk, I lost my thought for a second. But rainbows come out after the rain, so I wanted to add that effect on there like it had just rained. I'm also going to be paper piecing this back together. So I have that outline from the die. I have all my rainbow pieces. I'm putting the glue on and letting it set for just a second. When the glue sets, it doesn't squish out as much, which I like when I'm using intricate dies. Then I'm going to glue this down onto a scrap piece of cardstock to paper piece that back together. If you do get the glue on your hands, that Tombow Mono Multi glue rubs off really easy. And if you get glue seeping out, an adhesive eraser like that right there works really well. So now I'm just cutting away the excess, and then I have my rainbow panel for the front of my card. All right, so now we're going to put it all together. I'm using a T-square ruler to get my sentiment on my card straight. Sometimes I like things to be straight. And lately it's getting harder and harder to do that by just my eyes, you know? Getting old eyes, y'all. Okay, so I'm putting on these clouds, which I die cut from some glitter paper, because if you're gonna have shimmer, you gotta like go for it. I've got the shimmer of the foil, the sparkle silk, and now my clouds, and they're so cute on there. I'm going to glue this entire piece down to a top folding card base that measures 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2. And to embellish this, I am bringing out my favorite thing, rainbow drops. I have one of each color here. I had to throw in a little purple because there's not much purple going on in this card, and that finishes up card number 1. It's so shimmery and so fun. And now let's check out how this Glimmer Hot Foil plate works. I'm going to put some rainbow foil down. Remember, when you're doing it this way, the plate goes face up, pretty side down on the foil, and then add your cardstock. Put your plates on, press the timer, run it through your die machine with the plates that come with your Glimmer Hot Foil system. Add a shim if you need it, and then let's see what that looks like. So cool. So you could leave it just like this, but I thought, let me see if I can foil those individual pieces on here. Now remember, we don't want the tape to touch anything that's been hot foiled. So I created my hinge, and to make sure that tape doesn't touch it, I'm going to cover every bit of that already hot foiled image with my foil that I'm using right here. So I'm using some pink foil, and let's see how that looks. It's a little light. I wish maybe I would have used magenta foil on this, but it still turned out really pretty. So let's try this again. I'm putting on my hinge, and you can see that tape will touch my already Glimmer Hot foiled piece. So I'm going to make sure that the foil I'm using right now, this orange or tangerine foil, covers all of that, so my tape doesn't remove any of that hot foil. And it's going really well with this hinge system, lining it up. I really feel like it's maybe a little bit of good luck or a fluke, because sometimes I mess up, things shift, and I have to redo it. But I think adding that second piece of tape and securing it into place really helped things not shift around. So the last one is the green one. I'm having to use longer and longer pieces of tape now, but it really worked out, and none of my hot foil was removed because of tape. So there we have it. I'm going to also Glimmer Hot Foil my sentiment with this, oh, I don't remember the name. It's like a teal turquoise colored foil. I will link all the foils I used in the description below this video so that you can check them out if you're interested in a particular color. And this one says "Over the Rainbow for You." So cute. All right, again, I'm die cutting this out, so I'm going to make sure my tape does not touch my hot foil, and then I have all of that on a circle. Now let's create a background for this card. I have 1-inch strips of some cardstock to create a rainbow background, because when you have a hot foil image, you really catch the colors when you turn it in the light. So I wanted to play on that rainbow colors and bring it in a second element on this card, and that is these strips that I glued to a piece of printer paper so that I could run it through my cloud embossing folder, and it worked out great. And then I went ahead and splattered that again with that sparkle silk. It will dry back lighter as it sets. And then I'm going to glue this to my card base, which is that same size, 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. And then I'm adding my rainbow drops to finish it off. I love these. they go so well with most colors because they have a bit of translucency to them. So it picks up the color behind it. Now I'm adding a foam sticker that is finished with a silver glitter because over the rainbow for you, I just felt like I needed a heart. So I will be bringing back those stickers and using some more of those hearts on some other cards that I make in this video. So that's card number 2. I'm loving it. Make sure you leave a comment below and tell me which of the cards I make today is your favorite. So now I'm going to try making a rainbow with this foil, or with this set, where I use a light colored cardstock and a darker color foil. I thought that would be a really pretty rainbow look. So this is the magenta foil that I wish I would have used on the last card, just a little darker and brighter. So I'm putting that onto some bubblegum cardstock and it looks fabulous. And then I have the tangerine on some lighter orange cardstock. And I'll just keep going. I'm doing pink, orange, yellow, and green. So I will have most of my rainbow represented, but I will finish off the colors of the rainbow by adding a blue sentiment to this card. Aren't they cute? So here's my sentiment getting hot foiled with that turquoise, foil onto some light blue. I'm going to die cut that out, being careful not to stick my tape to the hot foiling. And now I'm creating a frame by die cutting out the center of my card front panel with a rectangle die. And then I'm going to flip this over and add some glue to the back. And again, I'm going to let that set up for just a minute before I add a window sheet so the glue won't squish out too much. And I am going to be creating a shaker card for card number 3. So once that is all ready to go, I laid my sentiment on there as a placement guide. I had already added glue to the back of my rainbow pieces, and I'm going to add those right to that window sheet. And I just let the glue set up for a minute on these as well, because it's just, when you're working with a window sheet, it can get a little messy and then you can see the glue. So having it set up a little bit really helps for this particular card. Again, I have some glitter paper for my clouds and putting a heavy block on those because they just need a little extra time to dry. And then my blue sentiment below that. And to bring in purple for this card, I will have the backer for this shaker card be in a really pretty purple color. You'll see it in a moment. I added some pieces of foam to the back of this. I had some fun foam. I'm trying to use more because I use up so much foam tape. So much, because I love shaker cards. Now I have these cloud confetti pieces that are iridescent from Trinity Stamps that will be the shaker element for this card. I thought it was the perfect thing for this. I had already used these in a shaker card before. You may have seen my reveal wheel shaker card. That's what I use these for. And there's my purple cloudy background that I did splatter with Sparkle Silk to be the background for my shaker. I'm going to shake this up quite a bit and even turn it upside down to shake it to help remove some of that anti-static powder that's inside. And then I'll glue this to a card base, same size. It's my favorite, top folding A2 size cards. And that almost finishes this card, but I felt like I needed another of those stickers, those foam stickers. So I added one to the bottom there, and that finishes up this card. I love shakers. This is such a fun card. All right, card number 4. I wanted to use some bright rainbow colors and opal foil because opal foil is my current favorite foil. It's a clear foil that has an iridescent finish. So it's going to pick up the color of the paper behind it, but leave behind an pearlescent image. It's fabulous. So I use the same foil on all of my rainbow pieces, and they turned out amazing. So it's a little bit more subtle look than with the last card, but still so gorgeous with that shine and shimmer. And here's the little green one. I love the tiny piece. All right, for my sentiments on this card, I am using Prism foil. This is a silver foil with an iridescent finish. So I'm using it for this sentiment that will go under my rainbow, and I am using the same hinge method for this. It's a very skinny piece and putting it onto a very skinny piece of cardstock, it just really helps to use the hinge method. So I'll run that through, and then this piece right here is also a sentiment in this set, and I'm using my largest rainbow piece to figure out where I want this on my card front. And again, using Prism foil and the hinge method. And now let's see what these two pieces look like once they're all hot foiled. Here's the sentiment that says, have a colorful day. I did have a tiny bit of excess foil, so I'll brush that away with a stiff bristle brush. And it is a tiny bit crooked, but I went with it anyway. And this one says, follow your rainbow. Isn't that cute? And again, brushing away any excess foil. All right, so now I can go ahead and glue on my rainbow pieces right under that sentiment. Isn't that cute? And they are amazing. I love the opal foil. It's so versatile. I think it should be one of the top foils that you have on hand because you can use it with anything. Other ones that I would recommend is Aura. It's a gold foil with a pearlescent finish, kind of like this Prism one that I used here. Those three are my top favorites, definitely. All right, so now I die cut a bunch of the clouds, and I'm going to use that tone on tone, so white clouds on white cardstock, to create a background around my rainbow. And I could not love how the background turned out more. It is perfect. So that will finish up the background on this card, and then I'm going to spotter it. I put a Post-it note over the rainbow part. I just wanted a little bit around the edge. Again, you know, rainbows come after the rain, and I feel like the shimmer on there really adds to that effect. And then we'll glue this to a piece of fun foam, and I can then pop this entire panel up on my A2 size card, and it will have a little bit of a white border all the way around. I love that tone-on-tone white border look. And now, of course, I'm adding some more rainbow drops to this card. I think it's the perfect marriage. The rainbow hot foil kit and rainbow drops. Perfect. And that will finish up card number 4. I love this one. I don't know if I could pick a favorite. Do you have a favorite? All right, so now we're going to move on to card number 5. It's a slimline card. I couldn't do 5 cards and not have one of them be a slimline. So I'm going to create a background using this Heart Wall stencil and Pool Play ink, and just ink blend that right over the top. This is the same color of blue cardstock that I have used in today's video, so I knew that it would go well with this. And then I'm going to pull in some of the leftover pieces from card number 3, the shaker card, and create some unfoiled rainbows. And of course I am adding some sparkle silk to this because that's the theme throughout, and I knew it would go well with these hearts. We'll set that aside to dry, and when it is dry, I'm going to hot foil a sentiment on here. So I'm not hot foiling my rainbows, but I am adding a hot foiled sentiment. So we'll add that, and I think that it stuck to the bits of sparkle silk on there because there's some foiling in the like O and stuff that wouldn't really come out, but it still looks great. So here I am adding the outline pieces that are left over from when I die cut the pieces for my pastel shaker card, and I'm going to make some rainbows. So when I'm creating rainbows that aren't in the traditional fashion, I still like to go in rainbow order. So orange, yellow, green, and then start over with pink. Yellow, green, start over with pink, orange, and so on. And that just kind of makes the most sense to me instead of trying to figure out how each of them should go. And it worked out perfect. I didn't have to die cut any extra pieces. I had them all left over. So I added some glittery clouds and another of those heart foam stickers to finish off this slimline card. And that is all 5 of the cards made with this month's Glimmer Hot Foil kit. And I love this kit. I think it's so much fun, and there are so many possibilities with this hot foil set and the dies. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have a favorite, let me know, or let me know what you think of this kit. If you have any questions about Glimmer Hot Foiling, be sure to let me know that as well. I have all the things I use listed and linked for you below in case you want to go ahead and check that out. And I will be back again very soon with another crafty video just for you. So stay tuned for that, and happy stamping. Bye.